Hello friends, welcome to this tutorial on the application of a thermostat for any temperature controlled devices. So in this session we are going to discuss about the application of a thermostat W1209. You can see this is the thermostat arrangement used for controlling any device based on the variations of temperature. So we can control any device within the specified temperature levels. This can be used to control the temperature inside a room by connecting this thermostat to an electric fan or an air conditioner. This system can also use to make an incubator for hatching eggs. So there are various applications for this thermostat. So here we are going to discuss about how to set the thermostat for heating application, like in the case of an incubator. Also we are going to discuss about the application of the thermostat for cooling applications, like in the case of an electric fan. For demonstration purpose, we are going to connect this thermostat to an electric bulb. So the items required for making this arrangement: one is the thermostat W1209, an RTD type sensor. This is a temperature sensor that has to be connected to this thermostat arrangement and also to the compartment where you need to control the temperature. Connection wires, a tester, an adapter, a 12-volt adapter. We cannot connect the supply AC to this thermostat directly. So we need to convert the alternating current to direct current for providing electric supply to this thermostat. Then an electric bulb and a bulb holder for demonstration purpose. So before connecting this, let us identify various parts of this thermostat. As you can see in this, the thermostat consists of 4 connection terminals. You can see there are 4 connection terminals here. First one is ground, second one is plus 12 volt. This is for providing the supply for the functioning of this thermostat. So plus 12 volt on the second terminal and negative or ground to the first terminal. Then the third terminal, it is marked K1 there, and the fourth terminal is K0. That is for connecting the device that has to be controlled. So here we are going to control the functioning of a bulb. So as you can see, this is a connection wire. So we need to cut the connection wire in between. Only one connection wire is cut in between, and the other one is directly connected to the supply line. The wire that is cut in between is to be connected to the thermostat K0 and K1 terminals. So the input edge of connection wire is to be connected to K0 and output edge is to be connected to K1 terminal. Okay, now let us start connecting this, and after connecting that, will show how to set this for various temperatures. The first set of connections are over. Okay, we cannot use our electricity supply, direct supply voltage to this one, so we have to apply only 12 volt DC. So first of all we have to convert the 220 volt input or 110 volt input AC into 12 volt DC. So for converting to 12 volt DC, we are using a 12 volt 2 ampere or 12 volt 1 ampere adapter. This is an adapter that converts alternating current into direct current. So this adapter converts the alternating current into direct current, and you can see this is the output knob of the adapter. Okay, but this adapter, we cannot connect this adapter directly to our thermostat. So for that purpose we have to use a socket for that. So this is a socket that can connect to the adapter, and also we can connect to the connection wire. Okay, so now, so you can see here ground is connected, ground or negative is connected to the first terminal, and the positive 12 volt is connected here. This is the you can see that is a red color wire. The red color wire is used for positive, connecting to positive terminal, and take care to connect the same red color wire is connected to the positive terminal of this adaptation socket or adapter socket. So it is marked positive here. Okay, so those connections are made, and now this is ready to connect to the socket. Okay, so the input supply is ready, or we can say that this supply is required for the functioning of this thermostat. A DC supply is required for the functioning of the thermostat. You can see that this is the supply pin that is used for providing the alternating current into this. So here we connect the supply wires, and that wire rolls all the way, and on the white wire we cut in between, as we told earlier. Okay, so there is a small cut is made on the phase line, on the phase line of the input supply. This is for connecting the control thermostat in between. Okay, this is the input supply terminal, so that is going to connect to the K0 terminal, and this end is going to connect to the K1 terminal. So here the connections are completed. You can see the first two is used for providing the voltage required for thermostat to operate, and the last two, K1 and K0, that is used for the control of any device. Okay, so here these two wires, you can see this wire, this is the input wire for the supply, for example to a fan or to an incubator, to an or air conditioner, or whatever it is, whatever the device. So we need a phase supply and a neutral supply line. So this is the phase supply line that we cut in between and connect to K0 and K1 terminals. Okay, and the output is taken from K1 terminal. Input is given to K0 and output is taken from K1 terminal. Now you can see the wire continues to or the wire is to connect to the device. So here at the other end of the wire we have to connect any device, fan, air conditioner, incubator for hatching eggs, or whatever it is. So for simplicity here I am going to demonstrate by connecting an electric bulb. An electric bulb is going to connect to the other end of this wire. Okay, you can see that an electric bulb is connected on the other end of the wire. So this wire, one end is connected to a 2-pin, one end is connected to a 2-pin for giving input AC, and another end is connected to the electric bulb. So this bulb is our device in this case. In between this bulb and 2-pin we cut at a point, and that is connected to the K0 and K1 terminals. And for the operation of this thermostat, we are connected a 12 volt DC supply, that is by using another set of wire and using a socket for adapter and an AC to DC converter or an adapter. A 12 volt DC adapter is used for that. So our connections are almost set. Our next stage is to set or program this thermostat, because the thermostat has to be programmed here. So here what I am going to do is I am going to set the thermostat first for heating. That is, when the temperature crosses any value, when the heating temperature crosses any value, say 37.5, then the device has to be cut off. And if the temperature reduces significantly by an amount, it has to switch on again. So on heating, the device will cut off and it will restart when the temperature reaches the particular value, the set temperature. So let us see how this has to be set, or how to program this thermostat. So for that, first we have to connect the temperature sensor, RTD type temperature sensor. So there is a terminal for connecting the RTD type temperature sensor here. Very easily you can connect the temperature sensor here. Okay. Now the temperature sensor is connected here. Okay, now the next stage is programming the device. So for programming, you can see that there are three buttons, button 1, 2 and 3. These three buttons are used for programming this thermostat. Okay, so first of all, before programming, we have to provide the necessary DC, direct current, 12 volt direct current to the device. So now we are going to provide the 12 volt direct current to the device by means of this adapter. Okay. Now you can see that the thermostat input supply is provided and the company set voltages or company set parameters are shown there. So it is shown 28.5, that is the current parameters provided by the company. So we have to change that according to our requirement. Now I am going to change this temperature setting to 37.5. So for that, first one, the first switch, you can see that the first switch is set. It is written there, set. Then the next one is plus. The next one is minus. Plus and minus used for selecting some temperature parameters. Okay, so first you have to click the button 1. Now you can see the digital reader or the digital display meter shows blinks. So you can change the temperature accordingly. So what I'm going, it stops. It will stay for only very small duration of time. Okay, again you have to click. Now it starts blinking. So I'm going to press +1, plus. So by clicking the plus sign, we can increase the voltage. Increase the temperature to any value. I'm going to set this to 37.7 degrees Celsius. 37.7 degrees Celsius. Okay, or 37.5 degrees Celsius. I can keep better. 37.5. So by keep on pressing the plus value or negative value, depends. So 35.8, 36. You can see this is going to be 37, 37.3, 37.4, 37.5. So now the set temperature is 37.5. That shows this instrument will cut off the current when the temperature reaches 37.5. Now, so that is the first setting. Next, hold the first button for 3 seconds. Now you can see P0. So similarly you can see there are P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, all that's there. So first you have to select P0. So is P0 there? Click on the first button once again. You can see C there. That option C is for cooling. There is one more option, that is H. As we are selecting the heating option, now H is displayed there. Okay, so in P0 it is used for heating or cooling. Okay, so P0 is set now. The next is the next button is P1. P1 is the hysteresis temperature. That means when it reaches 37.5, the device will cut off. Then it starts cooling. So when it cools to any temperature, it has to restart. So I'm going to set 0.5 as the cooling temperature. So 37.5 is the set temperature, and 0.5 is the lowest. 0.5 is the hysteresis temperature. That means from 37.5, if it decreases by 0.5, that is it reaches 37, the device restarts again. P1, again press for the temperature. It is shown 2 there. I am going to reduce that to 0.5. Okay, that is set. P1 is set. Now P2. P2 is for the maximum temperature. So we can select P2. It is shown 110 there. Normally this is not an important parameter in this, but we can reduce the temperature because 110 is so high temperature. We can reduce the temperature if we need. Okay, it is again gone. Okay, it can reduce. We can reduce if you need. That is not necessary because P0 and P1 are the necessary parameters. So I'll reduce this to less than 40 degree or so, so that the temperature will not cross some higher values. Okay, so keep on pressing that. It reduces, the temperature reduces less than 40. Okay, it's 39 degrees Celsius now. Okay, that is also set. P2 is set. Now it is P3. Let that be with the company set values, no need to change. Only P0 and P1 we have to take care. So P0 is in the heat mode, and P1 is 0.5. That is all the setting parameters. The rest all, and I think we set P2 also to some lower temperature like 39 degrees Celsius. Okay, now okay, so the device is now set. 37.5 is the maximum temperature. So whenever the temperature of the sensor reaches 37.5, the device cuts off supply line to the bulb, and it will restart the bulb when the temperature is lower by 0.5 degrees Celsius, so that the temperature is maintained almost in between 37 and 37.5. So if you need to keep exactly at 37.5, then it is better to increase that voltage, the set voltage, by 37.5 to around 38. So it is 37.5. I'm going to increase slightly, 37.7, so that from there it reduced by 0.5, it will be 37.2. So the temperature will be an average between 37.2 and 37.7, so that we get almost 37.4 or so. Okay, so now the temperature controller is set. It is ready to use. So now we'll check whether it is working or not. So you can see that here. Now the device, the electric bulb is now set on, and the thermostat is also on. I'm just keeping this temperature controller near to the bulb so that it heats. So you can see that in the temperature controller, the temperature increases to 29.6, 29.7. So when it reaches 37.7, it will cut off. So fast it is increasing, you can see, because that is an incandescent bulb used there. It heats up, it provides large amount of heat. So how fast the temperature of this room is increasing, you can see it is 30.9 now. You can see the temperature is 37.5, 37.6. Yeah, when it crossed to 37.7, switched off. Now it will reduce, the temperature will reduce, and when it reaches 37.2, that is 37.7 minus 0.5, so 37.2. So when the temperature reaches 37.2, the bulb will restart. See, when it crossed, the temperature reduced to 37.2, it increased again. Now the temperature will go back to 37.7. It cuts off. So the temperature of the room, of the compartment, is maintained in between 37.2 and 37.5. I mean 37.7. So around 37.4 will be that. See, it starts. Okay.
Sure.
So here it's again operating for that temperature 37.7 off. When it reduces to 37.2, it will on. Okay. Now the same device we can use for controlling any device with a cooling application. Right now we used with heating application. Okay, so for cooling application also we can use this. For example, to operate an electric fan or an air conditioner. So when the temperature of a room goes above any particular temperature, this starts. For example, 28, we need to maintain the temperature at 28 degrees Celsius. So when the temperature of the room goes more than 28, this device will start, and if it comes below to any particular temperature, it gets off. Okay, so in such a way also we can operate this thermostat. So let us see how to operate this in the cooling mode. Now the thermostat is going to set for cooling mode operation. So in cooling mode operation, I'm going to set this in 28 degrees Celsius. So whenever the temperature of a room goes above 28 degrees Celsius, we have to switch on an electric fan or any device. Okay, so here there is no electric fan, so I'm just connecting that again to a bulb itself. Anyway, first of all, you have to set the temperature. It is the 37.7, so you have to reduce that to 28. Okay, keep on pressing this button, negative button, to reduce the temperature to 28. I'm going to set at 28. Okay, to cool a room. It is 28. Okay, so it is set at 28. Now press to get the P0 button. P0, I'm going to set it at, now it is at heat mode, made to cool mode. Okay, now P0, the next one is P1. P1, I make it 0.5, let it be 0.5 itself. Okay, so Now the system is set for 28 degree Celsius. Whenever the temperature goes above 28, the device will switch on. That is the functioning of this device. Let us see how it is going to happen. Okay. So the present temperature is 32. The present temperature is 32.0, which is above 28. Now the device is working actually. So when the temperature goes below 28, the device will switch off. For example, if instead of this bulb, if this is an electric fan, if the temperature goes to 28 degrees Celsius or below that, it will cut off. So that because the room is cool. And again, after if the temperature increases by 0.5 degree, what happens? The device again switches on. So we have to reduce the temperature actually. So reduce the let us see when the temperature goes below 28, what will happen here. It is coming 31.30. It's actually increasing because there is no way to decrease the temperature here. Okay, let us see. Let us see how can we reduce the temperature. Now we are reducing the temperature. So we are reducing the temperature. So when you reduce the temperature, the device will switch off. So reducing, it is now 28.4. When it reaches 28, the device will switch off. Let us see. The temperature is reducing now. It is 28.4. It's 28.5. Let us see what happens to the temperature now. 28.4, 28.2, 28.1, 28. Yeah, the fan is off. Here there is no fan. There is electric bulb connected. When it the cools down to 28, the device switch off. Now again, if the room become hot, the device will switch on. The device is the fan. Okay, instead of a fan, I connected electric bulb only. So now again we are increasing the temperature. When it goes above 28 plus 0.5, yes, see, it's on. Okay. So if instead of the bulb is connected there, it will maintain a temperature of 28 inside the room, or whatever the temperature that we decide. So here again I am reducing the temperature. When it reaches 28.28, it will switch off the device. This is cooling action of the thermostat. Okay friends, so here we described the cooling and heating action of a thermostat that can be used for connecting or controlling an electric fan, air conditioner, and also for an incubator for hatching eggs. I hope you understood the necessary connections and the setting up of the thermostat. Thank you all.